This is a Flash Brewing beer kit, a new way to make beer at home. A traditional brew day can take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, but with Flash Brewing, you can be done in just 10 minutes. This is possible because it doesn't require any boiling or cooling. It's perfect for new brewers or those looking to get back into the hobby that are short on time and space, and everyone in between. If you're a home brewer already, you have everything you need to make a Flash Brewing kit. If you're just getting started though, we sell a Flash Brewing equipment kit. It's got your fermenter, your racking cane, and your tubing, everything you need to do your first Flash Brew. In this demonstration, I'm gonna be brewing the Citrus Session Pale Ale, but there's a ton of different recipes and styles for you to choose from. The Flash Brewing recipe kit includes 5 pounds of flash malt, 2 types of hops. First is cryo hops, which is gonna impart aroma and flavor. But since we're not boiling, it includes a hop bite shot, which is gonna allow you to get bitterness and BUs without boiling. It also includes flash yeast, which kicks off and ferments really fast and also has a wide temperature range and creates a clean, enjoyable beer. So let's get into brew day. Before we get started, we're gonna need water. So we're gonna need 5 gallons of good tasting water. So if you like the water at your house, that's great to use, or you can go to the store and pick up reverse osmosis or distilled water, etc. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is sanitize our fermenter. So we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of Star San to 1 gallon of water. Go ahead and mix that in, make sure it touches everything. We're gonna need at least 2 minutes of contact time. So make sure that contacts everything. Do not fear the foam is good. That means it's doing its job. Next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and open the spigot and collect that into a pot or something you have. Sanitize the spigot, and then we're gonna use that to sanitize our other equipment we're gonna use later. Throw in your lid, your airlock, your stopper, and also a pair of scissors because we're gonna use that to open all our ingredients. Now we're gonna add 3 gallons of water to our fermenter, and we're gonna add the rest later on. The reason we're gonna add that later is to help mix everything up. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is add the ingredients. So go ahead and use those scissors to open up any packaging, add them to the fermenter one at a time. The order does not matter. You actually don't need to mix it all up. We're gonna add the water, that's gonna agitate it, and then during fermentation, that convection is also gonna mix it up as well. That's the magic of Flash Brewing, it's just that easy. Now that all our ingredients in the fermenter, go ahead and add those last 2 gallons. It's gonna help mix everything up and get your starting base ready to ferment. All right, now we're gonna seal everything up. So go ahead and add your lid, make sure it's on there nice and tight. You're gonna add your stopper and then your airlock. In the 3-piece airlock, there's a little line on there. We wanna make sure we add water or sanitizer up to that line. And just like that, your beer is ready to start fermenting. We're gonna wanna store our fermenter at a place that's not gonna be disturbed and keep it at room temperature. The yeast that comes in these kits puts the flash in Flash Brewing. It's gonna kick off right away and finish a lot faster than you might be used to. But if you've never fermented before, these are the signs you're gonna look for. You're gonna see activity in the airlock, gas coming out. You're gonna see a krausen, kind of a foamy activity on the top. That means everything's working and your beer is on its way. If you don't see any activity in the airlock after a couple hours, just make sure everything's tight. We don't want any gas escaping anywhere other than through that airlock. Total fermentation time takes about 10 to 14 days. So make sure you let it sit, go through its conditioning. It allows all those flavors to develop and create a delicious beer. When the airlock shows no activity for 24 hours, you're done and ready to move on to the next step. You're gonna notice all the yeast start to settle out and you're gonna see a nice layer of yeast at the bottom of the fermenter. Once fermentation is done, it's now time to package our beer. You can either bottle or keg your beer. In this demonstration, we're gonna be bottling our beer. But the first thing we're gonna wanna do is move that fermenter to a countertop in your kitchen or a table and put it kind of towards the edge. And we're gonna wanna let it sit for at least 4 hours to allow anything to settle out that might have got jostled in the moving. Then we're ready to start bottling our beer and get it ready to enjoy. We're gonna be using Pop Tops bottles. We're also gonna need some more sanitizer because we wanna sanitize the bottles, tubing, and a bottling wand. So the first step is to sanitize everything. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of sanitizer to 1 gallon of water. Go ahead and mix that up in a pot or anything like that. Then we're gonna wanna dunk each bottle in and then also put in the tubing and the bottling wand. So we're gonna make sure everything's sanitized before putting our finished beer into it. Just like in the beginning, let's make sure we get at least 2 minutes of contact time on those bottles and anything we're gonna use to bottle our beer. Make sure you get all the liquid out of there, but you do not need to get all the foam out of there. That's okay. Don't fear the foam. Now that everything's sanitized, we're gonna go ahead and take our tubing and our bottling wand out of the sanitizer. First thing we'll hook is the tubing up to the spigot and then the bottling wand up to the tubing. Open the spigot on the fermenter. That's gonna allow liquid to start to fill the line. And then we're ready to fill our first bottle. So using the bottling wand, you're gonna wanna fill it, make sure the liquid goes all the way to the top, because as we pull out that wand, the liquid that it displaced will come out. So you'll have an amount of headroom in there for it to go ahead and carbonate. So again, just let the liquid come up to the top, then pull it out and move on to the next bottle. To carbonate our beer, we're gonna use pop shots. We're gonna add 4 tablets per bottle, and that's gonna go ahead and carbonate our beer. Once we've added our pop shots, go ahead and secure the bottles. These are the flip top bottles, so it's easy to just close it on up. Then we're gonna let the bottles sit for 1 to 2 weeks at room temperature. We want a secondary fermentation, and that's gonna create the carbonation for our beer. After 1 to 2 weeks, we're gonna test the carbonation level. So what we're gonna do is take one of those bottles, pop it in the fridge for at least 24 hours, then pull it out and go ahead and open it. If the beer is beautifully carbonated, the rest are ready to move to the refrigerator. If not, let them sit a little longer and do that same process again. So that's Flash Brewing. It's a quick and easy way to make beer at home. Flash Brewing kits are available now at MoreBeer.com, or you can follow the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and see you next time.